Hey, heathens. Well, I got an email from someone, and they wanted to present an argument, and I figure it is best if Rev Jeb handles this one.
So, Mr. Heathen, when you look out into the world, you see design everywhere you look. It's in the trees, and in the grass, and in the flowers, and in the butterfly. Yeah. So, obviously, every design must have a designer. Can you have a building with no builder? Can you have a painting with no painter? Please, Mr. Heathen, explain to me how it is that you see this in any other way than an intelligent designer, God, doing all of this.
Okay, so it kind of works like this. When you see design in certain things, sometimes that sight is warranted, other times it's not. For example, if we see that 3 rocks have fallen on the ground and they make a triangle, oh look, someone made it into a triangle. What else would it have been? It's only 3 rocks. It has to be in some shape or form of a triangle. Now if it was in a perfect equilateral triangle, then okay, wow, that's pretty odd. But to claim design is to ignore every single thing in our world that does not seem to suggest design. On top of that, when you say every building needs a builder, let's go with that one. Every building needs a builder. So what about a cave? Who built the cave? Now sure, man could build a cave if we wanted to. We could dig out a hole in the side of a mountain, but that's typically not how caves are formed now, is it? They're typically formed fairly naturally, and so who did that? You want to say God, I want to say erosion, So is that really showing anything? Let's take a stick. You go out and you find a stick, and the stick is perfectly shaped. It comes up, and there's a branch that came off this way, and it broke off, and it's made just like a handle. So this could be a cane. And you found this thing that you're going to make into a cane, and it's perfectly shaped to be a cane. So did a designer make that? Or is it just pure freaking luck that you found a stick that just happened to be shaped right for you? Because you're ignoring every other stick that doesn't fit the shape that you want for your cane. A lot of guys take or people, I should say, not just guys do this, but people take driftwood, and they look at the driftwood, and it looks like a crocodile head, and so they then carve it into a crocodile head. Or they see it looks like a snake, and so they carve it into a snake. And they finish off the design. But you wouldn't take one that looks like a snake and make it look like the Mona Lisa, because it didn't look that way to begin with. So to suggest that there was a designer beforehand to make sure that this thing was going to be whatever it was going to be is ignoring every single piece of driftwood that didn't look like anything. It's just like the Mary on the piece of toast. Did a designer make that, or was it just pure freaking luck that you burned something that resembles a face? You can't constantly ignore every single thing that flies in the face of this notion. For example, if you're going to say that the earth was intelligently designed and man, for whatever reason, is supposed to be the important part of it, then why is it that we can't live on 75% of the planet? Not only do you have vast quantities of water that we can't breathe, but you have the polar ice caps, and then you have the deserts, and you have all these other areas that we just don't survive very well in. Yet you think the earth was made for us? If anything, God was a bigger fan of fish.
But Mr. Heathen, the earth is so perfect for us. If it were any further away from the sun, we would freeze. If we were any closer, we would burn up. Surely that tells you something.
Actually, no, it doesn't, because there are moons around, Saturn and Jupiter that are suspected to possibly be able to hold life, and it's because of the flexing that they have, but because of the gravitational pull of their planets. So therefore, maybe they're perfect. Then again, this idea that it's just perfectly suited for us is stupid to begin with. Again, I remind you that there was a massive ice age that wiped out the majority of life on Earth. There have been catastrophic events that have eliminated species after species after species. So apparently it's not so perfect after all. They're saying 100,000 people probably dead from a catastrophic event that just happened recently from just a storm. And it's not the first time either. So is it really so perfect for us when we are so fragile and frail that we die around every single corner?
That's just God's wrath taking out upon the sinners of the earth who must bow before Christ. Amen.
Okay, so everything's perfect and hunky-dory and we survive forever because God made it so awesome and wonderful, yet He wants to wipe us out off the face of the planet that He made for us to be so perfect and wonderful. Come on.
But then there's space and here we are with the and Earth is perfect. We have water, but we don't find water.
Again, there are places on Earth where there is no water. There are places on Earth where the water is all frozen and useless to us. Let's talk about space for a moment. At any given time, there could be an asteroid coming flying towards the Earth that will eliminate all of us. We are alive, and that's a wonderful thing for those of us who are alive. That's a fantastic thing. However, that doesn't mean we'll be alive tomorrow. So many catastrophic events could happen that would wipe us off this planet. It's not so damn perfect. As a matter of fact, it's fairly imperfect. So if your God made this design, He's a pretty crappy designer, as it states, and He would probably lose his job if he were trying to make something as simple as a Lego.
Your mama.
Don't take my word for it. Think for yourself.